I welcome you to this Chapter 16 supports of my playthrough of Fire Emblem Three Houses. So, I don't know if I'm going to do this in one video or separate it into two, since I think there are 17 in total that I have to do. Most of them are starting, and there's a bunch of them that are technically ending. So, here is the list. Well, you already see it on the screen. Here's the list of all the supports that'll be in this one. If they're all going to be in this one, it's going to be a big list. So we're going to go ahead and start with me, or Byleth, if you want to be technical. So let's go ahead and get into this first one.
Oh, hey, Professor.
Hey, Ashe. You're chipper as ever.
Actually, I ran into that thief while I was shopping just now.
The thief from 5 years ago? Thief?
Maybe you don't remember. It's been quite a while. The man who stole the book from that market stall. I saw him on the street with his kid. They were both so grateful. It's a really nice feeling.
I'm glad it all worked out.
Yeah, but it did seem like they were still having trouble getting by. I guess what you said to me back then was right. My actions didn't really solve the problem. I can't help everyone no matter how much I try.
I mean, you did your best.
If I had the money or power, maybe, but I don't.
You'll get there. No need to rush.
You know, a long time ago, Leonardo said nearly the same thing to me. I think it was when I tried to look after the horses all on my own. I really messed that up. He said, "You're not quite ready for this yet, but there's no need to rush." I know I can't help very many people right now. But I think doing what I can for those I see in front of me is still worthwhile. I have to believe that, at least.
That's just like you, Ashe.
Thanks. That's reassuring to hear. What about you, Professor? Has anything been troubling you lately? I'd be happy to help, as long as it's not looking after horses. You might not want to trust me with that.
Why? Do I look troubled?
I genuinely enjoy helping people. It's a great feeling making someone smile. So if there's anything I can do for you, I want to do it, because I care about you.
You care about me, huh?
I do. It's probably because you remind me so much of Leonardo. So what'll it be? How can I help?
Just chat with me a while longer.
I'm happy to, if that's what you'd like.
And that ends their support conversations.
So I said, two can play at that game. I told him, a small-time little weasel like you ought to be begging me for attention. Oh, it gets me so mad, so worked up. Why aren't there any men around here who understand what a catch I am? Come to think of it, you've always been nice to me. I mean, you listen to all my problems. I feel like I can really trust you. I don't have that kind of thing with a lot of people.
You're a close friend.
Right, I got it. I knew you'd say we were just friends. I'd like to maybe talk about this once the war is over. Once we're all safe.
I was kind of thinking about picking the other option.
All right, enough of this moping around. What we need is a change of mood. we've still got a lot to do together. When I think about that, what are 1 or 2 men?
What's wrong?
What's wrong is, it's not just 1 or 2 men, it's more like 100 men, maybe even 200, more! I'm completely... Oh, I can't get out of this mood! Actually, I've got an idea. Exercise will help. I'm going to the training ground. Come on and give me a hand.
Man, she's getting desperate.
Gonna work my anger out on 100 training dummies. Maybe 200 if we've got 'em.
That could have ended better, but that technically ends hers, other than the S support rank. But I don't know what I'm gonna do with the S supports quite yet.
I was trying to catch you off guard, but you managed to block it. Not too shabby, Professor.
That wasn't funny.
Oh, come on. Look at the blade I threw. It's just a wooden training sword.
Those can hurt too.
At worst, you could have gotten a bruise or perhaps a splinter. Let's agree it was funny and move on.
I could have died.
How? By choking on it? Don't be so dramatic. Besides, I knew you'd dodge in time. I told you before that I was going to observe you. Since then, I've been watching you. I know what you're capable of.
I think the other support conversation was so far back that I don't even remember what it was about.
I took steps to make myself invisible, so I could observe you without being detected. I hardly let you out of my sight. After extensive research, I've concluded that you really are first-rate. Your sword skills are impeccable, you're a gifted educator, you clearly love working with the students. Someone with all of your exceptional qualities should not exist, but here you are. At first, I thought Gerald was the reason for Lady Rhea's interest in you. But no, Lady Rhea knew exactly what she was doing when she singled you out. Unfortunately, I can't hope to emulate you, let alone wield the sword of the Creator.
I mean, you have Thunderbrand.
So my plan of imitating you for Lady Rhea's attention has come to nothing.
So you're going to stop watching me?
I didn't say that. When we rescue Lady Rhea, I'll provide her a full report of your activities. Hopefully, then I'll be in her good graces. Oh, and don't think you can avoid being watched. I won't let you out of my sight.
Yeah, this is awkward.
Ah, time to relax.
Professor Hanneman, do you have a moment to talk?
Of course, Miss Dorothea. Whatever is on your mind.
I heard you were once a member of the nobility, and you surrendered your title to come here.
Indeed, I was a noble once. Why are you so curious about that?
I knew there was something noble about your speech and your perfect manners. You're always impeccably dressed, too, and you have a certain pride about you. What interests me is that you threw it all away. Why?
I threw nothing away, child. In fact, by stepping away from its trappings, in my heart I feel closer than ever to the true meaning of nobility.
How so?
Consider this. At its inception, the concept of nobility assumed that the greatest among the populace would rise to power. In my mind, I believe that means those who value knowledge, those who strive for more and wish to protect and guide their fellow man. However, in practice, nobility often serves to keep those deemed commoners down, segregated from those who, by chance, were born to a noble family. That is one of the reasons I decided to leave that nonsense behind and dedicate myself to the study of crests. Though I have abandoned my position, in my mind it was to pursue what I consider to be a truly noble pursuit, that of knowledge.
I see. Well, you're definitely a noble in that sense of the word. To pursue such admirable ideas without regard for your social position. How wonderful.
Pardon?
Oh, it's nothing. I was just very moved by your words.
Ah, well, I'm quite pleased to hear you say so.
Knowledge is power.
Manuela, isn't it a bit rude to sigh at someone the moment you see them enter the room?
Hanneman, isn't it a bit rude to tell others how to behave? Besides, I could be sighing about any number of things more interesting than you.
Goodness, you're unusually irritable today. Don't you imagine your attitude a bit excessive? You snap at every little thing, your ill mood on display for one and all. It saddens me to see such behavior from one who should be setting a good example for the younger generation.
Well, listen to the noble lecturing a lowly commoner to be on her best behavior. Oh, wait, I meant to say the former noble.
The connections.
I fail to understand how my birth is relevant to the topic at hand. I was merely trying to say that as a fellow adult...
You're not done lecturing yet? Leave me alone and go pester someone else. Maybe leave everyone alone and go focus on your precious crest research.
I don't know what to say to you, Manuela. I was only speaking out of honest concern.
Oh, was that a sigh I heard? Isn't it a bit rude to sigh at someone just because?
Don't be so childish. You are so sensitive to ill will from others, yet you let your own emotions run wild. Why is it that you cannot keep a handle on yourself?
Keep a handle on? Well, I've never. What makes you think you're so much better? Just because you keep your emotions bottled up behind your stupid stony face. Well, it doesn't mean everyone else has to do the same. Stop telling everyone how to behave, Hanneman. It will make you and the rest of us much happier.
I will not stand for this insolence. It is high time someone taught you.
Go on! If you think you can change me, I'd like to see you try. Ha! Thought so. You wouldn't dare.
Absolutely insufferable.
And they're supposed to be friends. I'm not sure if they're friends, but they're co-workers or whatever. I mean, co-workers aren't exactly friends, but I don't know. It's kind of a weird relationship.
Why, it's Gilbert. Training on a day off? That man will never change, nor rest, apparently. Is there any need to be so diligent when nobody is watching? Ah, well, at least I can bear witness.
Professor Hanneman, is there something you need?
Ah, you noticed me. No, not at all. I was simply observing. I apologize for disturbing you.
You've done nothing worthy of apology. Although I fail to understand why you would watch my training.
Oh, well, I watch because I find it quite interesting. Your movements are most refined, with no unnecessary motions. Elegant is the word, I think. I find it quite satisfying to observe. In fact, I might say I was mesmerized.
Is that so?
If only you showed a bit more emotion on your face, just to sell the rest of it. You come off a bit tense.
Training is difficult, a strain on the body. Surely it is natural for one to be tense.
Oh, I know well how difficult training can be. But in your case, it's as though you're punishing yourself.
I am sorry. It's simply how I am.
No. What do I know of your training? My criticism was perhaps unnecessary. Still, I do feel you are too hard on yourself. Would it not be easier to live a little more freely? Find something that makes you happy and embrace it wholeheartedly. It would do you a world of good.
I thank you for your advice, Professor Hanneman, but I cannot live as you do. Such a way of life is not permitted to me. Now, if you will pardon me, I will return to my training.
Not permitted? I think the only one not permitting you joy, dear Gilbert, is yourself. My, look at the time. I really should retire for the evening.
Professor!
Oh my, who's there? Alois? Well now, wherever did you come from?
I came in through the door.
Came through the... Try doing so with a bit less volume in the future. Now then, why are you visiting at such a late hour?
I'm looking to enlist the services of a magic wielder. I thought you might be the man for the job.
You're a knight, Alois. Why would I teach you magic?
You were a teacher, weren't you?
Perhaps you should ask one of your friends already trained in the magical arts. I am tired and would very much like to turn in for the evening.
Slow down there. I heard a rumor you were looking for novice magic users. Did I hear wrong, or am I just an unsuitable student? Were you hoping for another young girl instead?
Ah, you heard about that, did you? I'm afraid that was simply for the purpose of my experiments. I had no intention of teaching anyone. Anyway, as I said, I am off to bed. Good night, Alois.
Wait! Hold on, Professor Hanneman. I'm no good at magic, and for a long time I'd been hoping to improve my skills. Some of the other knights looked down on me for having no crest and no magical skill. I can't do anything about the crest, but the magic, maybe that's a different story. Please, I want to learn. You've got to help me.
Ah, maybe I'm just a fool who goes soft in the face of someone's hunger for knowledge. I will help you. I cannot teach you any spells, but I can do my best to try and improve your magical affinity. Will that be enough?
Of course! How marvelous! I look forward to training with you then.
Very well. We will see what we can do. For now, I am off to bed, and you should do the same.
Is something the matter? Your heart does not seem to be in your training today.
I'm sorry. Something's been bothering me.
Idle thoughts do hinder training. Tell me what bothers you.
You were sworn to protect the royal family. But when we met 5 years ago, you weren't in the kingdom capital. You were in Garreg-Mach. What could have made a great knight like you abandon his vow?
That is difficult to explain. You are aware of the tragedy of Dusker? When the king's party was massacred 9 years ago.
I am. It affected me too. My brother was suspected of being involved in the attack. And so the church, they...
Forgive me. That must be a difficult memory.
Why are you apologizing? It's not your fault.
I disagree. Had I been by His Majesty's side on that day where I was sworn to be, perhaps His Majesty would not have lost his life. and all would be different.
Is that why you left Fargus?
Yes, you may laugh, but I feel I was responsible for everything.
I would never laugh at something like that. But I do think you should have seen things through to the end. Even if you had to endure dishonor for a while, you could have restored your name. I'm sorry. That was inconsiderate of me. I got carried away by how much your situation resembles my own.
You were adopted by Lord Lonato, correct? I once told you that I wish to protect one thing other than my king, and that is my family. My wife and my daughter, both of whom I left behind in the kingdom. Lord Lonato took up his sword for his son, even if that meant turning his back on the goddess. As a father, I cannot condemn Lord Lonato for raising an army. Yet, perhaps he too lost sight of what should be protected, just as I did.
I don't understand what you mean. What should Lonato have protected?
You, Ashe, because you are also his son.
You're right. I think I know what I need to protect now. It's been staring me in the face all this time. I don't know why I couldn't see it. I'm Lonato's son. His pride and his wishes are my inheritance. Those are what I should protect.
I see. Ashe, you will be an excellent knight.
It's too early to say that, but I'm willing to learn if you'll teach me.
It would be my pleasure to oversee the training of a new generation.
And that ends their support conversations.
Praying, Father?
Yes, praying is all I can do. For I am at fault for each death upon the cursed plain of Duscur.
You keep saying it's your fault, Father, but you're wrong. His Highness doesn't blame you. Neither does King Lambert, I'm sure of it. But I guess that's not the issue for you, is it?
It was my duty to protect the royal family. I should have given my life to protect the king, even if His Highness has forgiven me. My knightly vows are still broken. My knighthood is lost.
That's obvious from looking at you, Father. I think Mother understood it as well. But before fleeing the country, I wish you had thought about your family. If only for a moment. Even if the whole world had condemned you. We would always have been your allies.
I am sorry, Annette.
No, I told you before. I don't particularly want you to apologize.
Annette.
Yes, Father?
Take this.
A bundle of letters. There are so many.
Look inside and you will understand. Should the contents make you sad, please burn them.
Father! For the love of... He's done it again. But what have we here? Just as I thought. Letters for me and Mother. And so many. But why? And how? I suppose I'll have to read them if I hope to find my answers.
As far as I can remember, Annette wants Gilbert to apologize to her mother for leaving them for all those years.
Aha! Finally! Nothing? I could have sworn I felt a bite. Regardless, I shall persist.
Alois, you shouted. Is all well?
Why, if it isn't Gilbert. Everything's splendid. I am fishing, as you can see.
Yet you were also raising your voice, which is not conducive to fishing.
Well, a fish escaped, so I started shouting. See, they're biting all right. I think I'm reeling them in too slowly. Ho-ho! Another! Nothing again? Why do these darn things elude me? I've been at it since yesterday. Every time I feel a pull on my line, the fish escapes.
If I may, Alois, a bit of advice. You lifted the rod as soon as the fish bit.
Well, yes, of course I did. That way the fish has less time to escape.
No, it is the very reason the fish escapes. The fish in this moat know to nibble the bait first. They check if it is safe before biting in earnest. Allow the first pull of the line. Then, when the second pull comes, reel in your prey.
I've been reeling too quickly. Maybe that's why the little flipper-flappers have been getting away. You seem to know your stuff, Gilbert. Do you fancy yourself an angler?
In fairness, I am more a theorist than fisherman. I just happen to know some things about this location.
Ah, is that so? Well, I'm glad to have met a fellow enthusiast. I fish quite often, although I catch fish quite rarely. Regardless, color me impressed. A master of arms, but also a master of the fishing rod.
I am honored by your compliments, and I believe you could achieve mastery if you attend to the basics. With your permission, I might accompany you on a fishing expedition. Perhaps offer more pointers, if I may.
Oh, splendid! You shall be my second fishing mentor. My rise in skill will be astronomical.
So he sucks at fishing. Got it.
Good work. Should we call it a day?
Thank you. Yes, let's. Catherine, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you something.
Let me guess. You're going to ask why you're so bad at predicting my attacks.
When I expect an attack from above, you surprise me from below. When I expect a jab, I get a sweep. You seem to anticipate my anticipation.
It's probably because you're a straightforward, honest person. You're reading my movements and trying to calculate what I'll do next.
That has always seemed the most sound strategy when engaging in combat, yes.
Right. Well, I take that anticipation and turn it against you. I use my eyes and the tilt of my sword to mislead you. Catching your opponent off guard is the trick to staying alive in combat. You've got to keep yourself alive if you want to protect Lady Rhea, right?
Your dedication to Lady Rhea's safety is truly inspiring, Catherine.
You flatter me.
My dream is to become a knight and protect my king, no matter the cost. There is no greater purpose I can serve. Although your fealty is sworn to Lady Rhea, you are the ideal knight I aspire to be.
Admire me to your heart's content, but I'm...
Catherine, I'd be honored if you would make me your squire.
My what now? Oh, you're far too straight-laced to be my squire.
However you might judge me, I'm quite serious about this.
All right then, why not? Let's start by teaching you how to flirt with handsome men.
Pardon me? That can't possibly be where you want to start.
Nah, I was just kidding. I wish I knew how to flirt with handsome men. Instead, let's teach you to lighten up.
Ah, understood.
Everybody wants to be taught by Catherine. I don't blame them.
Ugh, where is it? Oh, hello there, Ignatz.
Yes, hello, Hilda. What's the matter?
Oh, it's just that I'm looking for a book. I can't seem to find it anywhere. I think it might be on one of the high shelves. Could you give me a hand?
I'm really sorry, but actually... Some people got hurt while training in magic. I'm rushing to grab some medical supplies.
Whoa, that sounds serious. Don't let me stop you in that case.
Thanks. I'll be right back. Sorry to keep you waiting. Now, what was the book you were looking for?
Is everyone okay?
Yes, it turned out to just be some scrapes and bruises. Oh, is that the book?
Yes, I went and grabbed a ladder. That made the book much easier to find.
Ah, huh. You could have just asked someone else for their help.
Well, you said people were hurt, so I just figured everyone had more important things to do. Honestly, I don't love heights. It was a bit scary up there, but here we are. I managed.
I see. Well, I'm sorry I couldn't help.
Why are you apologizing, silly? Surely first aid is more important.
I thought you might wait for me to come back, that's all.
Oh, but giving first aid, that's not an easy job. I figured you'd be worn out. The last thing I want is to push you too hard.
That's thoughtful of you, Hilda. Thanks for watching out for me.
Oh, don't mention it. Do my cleaning again and we'll call it even. You did such a lovely job last time. The floor was practically sparkling. I swear the air even tasted cleaner.
I'm glad you liked it. You're really good at giving compliments, you know that? I suppose that's why everyone's so eager to help you with things.
Exactly. By heaping praise on people, they're more eager to help me in the future. Oh, but that's not what's happening here. I was really, truly impressed by your cleaning skills.
I wish I had everything figured out like you.
I'm not sure if the script was flipped or what.
Flayn, I'm so sorry. Are you hurt?
No need for concern. I'm quite all right.
Are you sure you're all right? Were you injured?
No, nothing of the sort. I just got a bit dizzy, standing up so quickly.
We should go to the infirmary. Come on, I can take you there.
Come now. I appreciate the concern, but I am quite all right. Look, I am perfectly fine now. See? Ignatz. Are you there?
Yes. I'm sorry. Did you say something?
Mm-hmm. I understand now.
Understand what?
Though I know little regarding affairs of the heart, even I can clearly see one's intent when they stare so much. I am sorry, but at the moment I am not looking for... well...
Oh, no. You misunderstood.
You just what? What is it?
I'm just fascinated by you.
Fascinated? By me?
Yes. Your gaze, full of divine dignity. Your silhouette, as elegant as a statue. If Saint Sethlene herself were reborn, you would look no less wondrous than she.
I see.
I'm sorry, so sorry. I don't know what came over me, saying something like that.
No, not at all. Tell me, what are your thoughts on Saint Sethlene exactly?
Well, from the few accounts I've heard, she was a beauty, and her kindness was inexhaustible.
Very good. As a reward, I shall not report your behavior to my brother. This time.
Yes, I'd be most grateful if you didn't. I can hardly imagine what Seteth would do if he found out.
Well then, farewell. Perhaps we will have another chance to chat later.
She seemed awfully pleased, didn't she?
I'm guessing that had to do with wanting to paint her portraits.
Hey, Ignatz. What you doing?
Cyril, hello. I was just looking outside. Are you off to work right now?
I'm gonna get a bucket and get rid of that big puddle everybody keeps walking around.
Oh, you're getting rid of the puddle over there? That's a shame.
Huh?
I've quite enjoyed looking at the puddle. But pay me no mind. The work needs doing. I know.
Huh? What's so nice about it?
Well, look at it. With the addition of the puddle, the whole landscape has changed dramatically. Plus, it's perfectly unique. No two puddles are alike. Light will never again hit the water in quite that way. This whole landscape is unique, in fact. Here, now, for us to enjoy. It didn't exist a moment ago, and it won't exist in a moment.
I guess you're right, huh? Weird. I never thought about the rain that way. How it makes the world look different, and how that's kind of special, I mean.
Your mood just brightened, Cyril. And that made the world a little brighter, didn't it? And that's the other thing about looking at a landscape. The view is affected by the viewer's feelings.
Huh. Maybe you're right. When I remember it, I think Elmira was a real dull and lonely place. Once you're out of the city, there's nothing but the plains and sky, and they stretch on forever. You can lose yourself out there. That's the kind of place it is. It's strange. When I remember it now, even though it's lonely, it also seems real pretty too.
Maybe the image in your memories is affected by your emotional state. Anyway, it sounds fascinating. Endless plains, boundless sky. That's Elmira, huh? The thought of it makes my pulse quicken.
You're a big weirdo, Ignatz.
Am I? I suppose I am.
Sitting around, talking about how pretty puddles are?
Well, when you put it like that. Still, I'd love to see Elmira someday. Cyril, after the war, would you go there with me? We can make some memories of your homeland that aren't all dull and lonely.
I don't know. Maybe, but yeah, I'll think about it.
Cyril has turned a new leaf.
Hello, Professor Manuela. I wish you to know that I have heard ever so much about your talents.
Whatever are you talking about, Flayn?
Singing! Why, you are wonderfully skilled at it, are you not? Why, I have even overheard people saying your voice is akin to the singing of a goddess.
It makes me happy to hear. But who told you that?
Oh, the students are always speaking of it, which got me to thinking, I may be the only person in all of the Academy who's never heard your beautiful voice in song. So, I was wondering, Manuela, might you sing a little something for me?
Your request is touching, but I can't perform on such short notice. My voice is an instrument and requires proper gentle care. However, the stories are true. I was once the leader of the Middle Franc troop, but that was a long time ago.
Middle Franc? What do those words mean precisely?
You've never heard of the Middle Franc troop? Before the war, it was the single most popular opera company in the imperial capital. I used to sing on stage with them. I was the star, in fact.
Oh, wow! In all of Enbar? They must not have been around when I was living there.
You used to live in Enbar?
Indeed. Although I was quite a bit younger at the time. It is where I was born, as a matter of fact.
Oh, well, you must have been too young to hear about us.
Yes, that could be. And what precisely is the function of an opera troupe?
You don't know what an opera troupe is? Well, it's a group of performers like myself who act out stories on stage in front of a big audience. Stories with lots of singing.
Oh, I understand now. I certainly have experience in the fine art of storytelling. There is often singing as a part of story time for the children at the monastery.
That is darling, Flayn. But I'm not sure it's quite the same thing as an opera. You see, operas are performed in grand theaters with orchestral accompaniment. Everyone attending wears their finest. It is a very special occasion.
Theaters, they're called? You mean to say that there are buildings exclusively used for telling stories?
You've never even heard of a theater? You're an intelligent girl, Flayn, and the world is full of wonders. You have a lot left to discover.
You just have to remember, she was very sheltered as a child. He still technically is one, though we don't know how old she is.
Alois, what a pleasant surprise. Would you care to join me?
Ah, perfect. I was just looking for someone to dine with. Let's raid the dining hall, shall we?
My goodness, but you're in a good mood.
Manuela, I have some news. I received a letter from my wife today.
Oh?
My daughter just picked up a new skill. Can you guess what it might be?
Singing? Dancing? I have no idea what parents teach their kids, or why they even have children at all. Still, give me a hint. Fishing? Bricklaying? Cooking?
That's right. Spot on as always. My wife is teaching her the basics.
The basics of which?
Next time I'm home, my daughter will be able to cook me all my favorite meals. What a lucky father I am. Is any father in the world luckier than I?
I don't know, and I don't care to know.
My wife greeting me at the door. My daughter's nervous face as she sets the meal on the table. I'm so excited I bet I won't even be able to taste the food as I devour it.
Wouldn't your daughter appreciate it more if you took the time to savor?
Then I'll say, how delicious! That was the second best meal I've ever had.
Not first best? Shouldn't you encourage her?
Mommy's cooking is the best, but you're a close runner-up, darling.
Why would you say?
Oh, Daddy, I'm so happy you liked it, she'll say, as she embraces me, a big smile on her little face. Ah, what could make a man happier?
You've forgotten I'm here, haven't you? All I wanted was a dinner companion. What did I do to deserve this?
That one was pretty good. I should have ended it on that one, but we have one more.
This is unbelievable. Why? Why does it keep happening to me? What's wrong with me?
Are you okay?
I was sure I'd be happy this time. Why, oh, why do I always struggle in love?
Please, let go of my sleeve.
If I let go, you'll just run away, won't you?
Yes.
Nobody wants to listen to my romantic tragedy. But I saw you, Cyril, and I thought, Cyril will listen, because Cyril is good people.
Okay, I surrender. What do you want to say?
I knew I could trust you, Cyril. You're such a good boy, such a good young man.
How can I help you? Is it just with listening?
Oh, it's a real tragedy, let me tell you that. Yesterday, I was hitting it off with a man I'd seen a few times at the pub. When I looked in his eyes, I thought he was the one. But then, well, we were drinking and enjoying ourselves, and all of a sudden, poof, gone. He just vanished.
I feel like I've heard this story before.
Can you believe he treated me so cruelly?
Yeah, this is all real familiar.
My heart is in tatters. I can't believe anyone could throw away a woman like me. Cyril, be honest. What's wrong with me?
You drink too much, blame others for your behavior, and you don't understand you gotta love yourself before someone else can love you back.
Maybe he wasn't for me anyway. If you're gonna take off after a few drinks, who needs you, right? I think you're too young to understand, but I also think talking to you made me feel better. Yeah. You know what, Cyril? I'm gonna come talk to you more often.
Cyril laid it out straight, and she still didn't get it. She's your problem now. Oh, that one's pretty good too. Alright, so that'll be it for the Chapter 16 support conversations. The next part will be the main battle whenever I get to that. So until next time, I'll be seeing ya.